Hey guys, happy Mother's Day. And to all the baby mamas and baby mamas mamas and baby mamas mamas mamas. I'm just kidding. That's, no, I'm not making any jokes at the baby mother's expenses today. That was just outcasts. I love outcasts, guys. So speaking of that, I did want to touch on the whole Roe versus Wade decision thing that people have been talking about for the last 2 weeks or so. I wasn't really going to broach it, except that I saw something on the Young Turks, and I usually can't stand when they go into a rage fit or just have a total emotional meltdown on air. But this time it was Anna Kasparian who had a meltdown on air, and I actually find it kind of justified. Not that I'm that worked up about Roe versus Wade, to be quite honest. I'm sorry, guys, but it was almost dead anyway. The last few Supreme Court decisions had pretty much um, hit Achilles' heel, but this one is just the actual beheading, if it's to be believed that the leak about the Roe versus Wade decision being overturned. I'm not surprised. I mean, look at the current selection of justices on the Supreme Court bench, and we knew this was going to happen, even though they kept saying, uh, you know, to Congress that Roe versus Wade was a legal precedent. Wink, wink. I mean, who hasn't lied to get a job, right? Same thing there. No, pretty much no difference. We lied to our potential employer about certain things so that we can get the job. They did no less. In any case, the leak seems to be genuine because the justices haven't refuted it. Instead, they're just mad that it was leaked. But as much as conservatives have been talking about how bad this leak was, they failed to mention that when Roe versus Wade was first passed down about 50 years ago, that decision was also leaked as well. So everything in perfect balance, like Thanos said. But it's not going to stop abortions. It's just going to become a state by state issue. And if you live in a butt fuck state, then sorry, you're going to have to travel across state lines to get abortions. Or even if it became somehow illegal across all states, then wealthy people are still going to be able to fly out to other countries to get their abortions. Whereas poor people are going to, be stuck doing illegal abortions like they do in other countries. But in any case, getting back to Anna Kasparian's meltdown, I wasn't that passionate about her being mad about the decision being overturned, but so much as she said that she's given up on Congress and electoral politics in that regards, for which I agree. I gave up on electoral politics last year after certain events happened, and we know what those events are. And I'm I was done. Like that was just the needle in the haystack though for me because there was a bunch of stuff already building up that made me not want to even deal in politics and voting anymore because I just thought that to do so would just be in bad faith. And she's realizing that too. Even Schenck said that if after this Roe versus Wade decision, if they don't do something else that he expects Congress to do, then he's done with electoral politics as well. Okay, so political apathy is spreading, and I see why, and it's completely justified. Like Anna gave a passionate critique of Congress, how they do nothing, how both sides are basically in the pockets of corporate donors, and how the Democrats aren't really fighting this Roe versus Wade decision. Instead, they're fundraising with it. They're using this decision to say to say, vote harder, guys, vote harder. Meanwhile, they're coming at you in emails and advertisements, saying they need money to fight this when their money's just going into their own coffers. They're not going to do anything. They're going to get rich off of this, and that's it. Like, most the problem also is generally that Congress spends most of their time fundraising. This could be eliminated if, as suggested by Thomas Sowell and others, you just have one-term senators. That way, they will actually spend the bulk of their time actually doing what they were elected to do: make and pass laws, not spend the bulk of their time fundraising. Even the people who don't want to do it are still stuck doing it because it's just a part of Congress that you have to spend your time fundraising, worrying about the next election and the next election and the next election. It's a messed up system that they have, but that's what it is, and that's why I refuse to even waste my time voting for clowns. Like I said, if something was to drastically happen to alter that, things like ranked choice voting, getting rid of gerrymandering, giving people who are politically informed a weighted vote in both the general elections and midterm elections or local elections, I would be all for that, and I would be more enthusiastic about voting. Or if Bernie Sanders returned to the arena, even though he's probably going to get railroaded again by the Democrats because they never want him to win because he's not their quote unquote type of Democrat. I mean, he's technically an independent, but he always runs as a Democrat because he's astute enough to know that in a two-party system, an independent can't win in a general election. So, in any case, I understand that frustration. I don't particularly care as much about the Roe versus Wade decision as Anna Kasparian does, but I feel her frustration with the system at large. And I'm going to link that video in the description below so you guys can, look at it for yourselves and see, her just going to a fit of rage. And I don't blame her. I think it's gone viral on Twitter and other spaces where people actually, delve into politics and all the muckraking. But but if you haven't seen it or are interested in seeing it, it'll be in the description below because I feel her frustration with Congress just being full of crap, which it is. So it is what it is, and I hate cliches like that, but oh well. I'm just a contrarian, guys.